Aquarius. Thank you for joining, liking, sharing, and subscribing. First of all, pause. I just did it. All right, this is supposed to be Pisces reading. It's the first bi-weekly reading I'm doing for the period of October 7th through the 20th. Thank you for joining, liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. I set it up for Pisces. I keep thinking Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius. And I just said, welcome Aquarius. I'm so sorry. Pisces, this is your reading. But some of you have something going on with the Pisces. I mean, with an Aquarius. Jeez, what is wrong with me? Some of you have something going on with Aquarius. See, I don't want to stop the reading and change the reading because, you know, it's already all set up here for you. But we have that going on. And again, I do apologize. This is Pisces reading. But maybe somebody... that they want me to reach out there who'll be watching is a Pisces, Aquarius, or again is perhaps in a relationship with an Aquarius. Some of you, at least one, somebody watching is, and the message keeps coming through, like I said, very strongly and even confusing me. All right, Pisces. Let me start by saying you have been holding yourself back from forward moving progress. It could be from moving, literally, and I guess let me start picking up cards and showing you what's here. You have an overall energy of the Chariot in reverse. The Chariot upright can be about movement. I'm just seeing now for the first time. Behind it is the Seven of Wands. This is about defending yourself. It's like your warrior spirit at work. Your decisions that you're making, your actions that you're taking. You know, if somebody else doesn't like it, tough. They're not going to change your mind. They're not going to trample on you. You've made a decision and you're sticking to it. You're going to stand your ground. This is fully your energy. King of Cups, upright, balanced, loving, charitable, feeling good about yourself, in touch with your emotions, but you know they're in check. You're not watering all over yourself and being overly dramatic. You know, you've got it together, and you can express yourself and you can express your emotions, you know, without being weird about it or getting weird about you being weird about being received in a strange way and making somebody uncomfortable. Like just being real, like 100. They did just cause me to focus on this red boat. And I think I may have mentioned it in your last reading. I mentioned it in somebody's. This red boat with the 3 red sails. It just reminds me of the 3 of Wands, which is about something on the horizon for you. Like you may have to be patient before you actually manifest it, but you're in the process of manifesting something and it is on its way. It will be successful. And that may be why right behind this also upright is the Ace of Pentacles. So some sort of lucrative brand new start of value. Something of which you are worthy too. You know, demonstrates your value as well. Fresh start in something. It can be a relationship. It always reminds me of like a place where somebody might want to get married, standing under this like trellis. And, you know, God's hand coming out from the clouds, you know, like sort of blessing it and everything. But it can be anything. It could be a new job, new lease on life, period, you know, not centered around anything in particular, but just going for it. But again, not quite yet because the Chariot is in reverse. Although the Chariot in reverse, like the Chariot upright, is about movement. So I already jumped over there. I have some oracle cards set up here, quite a bit for you. Let me go to those. From the Abundance Oracle is no more complaining. Complaints are affirmations of victimhood, which is never true spiritually. Take back your God-given power by affirming that you have an abundance of choices and freedom. With your increased confidence and your assertiveness, watch these positive affirmations blossom into reality. So this is very Seven of Wands upright for me. Right? It's like I'm taking back my power. I'm determining what it is I want, or who it is I want, or where it is I want to be. I'm making these choices. I'm sticking to it. You're not going to change my mind. I'm free. I'm no longer caged. Except in the position of your energy in this spread, you are represented by the Eight of Swords, which is an appearance of being caged. I think you put yourself there. I think this is you being afraid to move forward. And with all the cards here that are awesome, I think it's you being afraid to be happy. And that's a thing. That's a thing. I looked at your spread and I said, fear of being happy. Oh yeah. Cherophobia. And why do I know this? I don't know what caused me to look it up the first time that I looked it up, but I have remembered it. Well, first of all, I kind of have the memory of an elephant, except for after I started eating too many carbs and grain. Stay away from that stuff. Yeah, I did start to lose. Like people that watch my videos every single day, like my dailies and stuff, or who've been watching me for the whole time that I've been on, will tell you, like, I remember strangers' birthdays, the dates of their passing, all kinds of needless information. I could, probably have won Jeopardy a lot easier a couple years ago than I could right now, but I just remember stuff. And this, at Cherophobia, I remember because it reminds me of angels, like cherubs, the little ones that are depicted like babies in all of the artwork that we see around and stuff, but actually in the scriptures are depicted as pretty scary things. But anyway, the name reminds me of Cherophobia. And to take it a step further, speaking of angels, it's a Greek word. I know this is probably weird. Like, why does she know this? Yes, I know. It's a Greek word that's kind of like chariot. It's CHAIRO, I think. Like Chero or Chiro. It's a Greek word, and it means I rejoice. Well, angels rejoice, right? Or at least that's how the Christmas songs and stuff go in the stories. The angels rejoice and this happened, and the angels rejoice and that happened. And so I'm like, yeah, these Pisces people, I almost said Aquarius again, are afraid of being happy. Maybe you're afraid of being happy with an Aquarius. I don't know from where the Aquarius is coming, Pisces, for your reading, but yeah, it just keeps popping up. And maybe that's why there's swords here. Some of the cards represented by swords. I mean, they're not court cards, and usually it's court cards that would represent a person, but we have the Eight of Swords and we have it crossing the Four of Swords. But further to the overall energies here for your oracle messages, the next one is God box. Write any worries, concerns, or desires on a piece of paper that you put into a special container called a God box as a way of letting go and allowing the divine to help you. So I think, yeah, this fear, this cherophobia, you need to write that down. Why are you afraid to move on? Why are you afraid to be successful? Why are you afraid to be happy, Pisces? And you got to write whatever that is down and put it into a God box, or, just keep a journal. Or if you're like me, set it on fire. Set it on fire. I don't know. I'm kind of a pyromaniac. That's how I like to do. But you need to release it in some way or get it out there. Maybe share. If you have a therapist, maybe share it. Because sometimes this cherophobia thing, like any kind of phobia, it can go, beyond what might be considered the average fear of being happy, to a step further, that maybe it's connected to something. Maybe you need to talk to somebody, and that there's no shame in that. There's only positivity in getting the help that we need in whatever area it is we need it. So God box can be a way for you to do that for yourself, perhaps, like self-therapy. Behind that, also upright, is singing and dancing. So this could be something to make you happy too. Maybe you just need to get out and experience some joy, right, in the real world, and maybe that'll help you to come to enjoy joy a little bit better and to not be afraid of it. Express yourself and awaken your psychic senses through the magical power of music and movement. Also upright behind it, and this is my first time seeing them just like yours. Have you asked the angels for help with this? Speaking of the angels, the cherubs, right? Your angels want to help you with the situation. However, they require your permission before they can intervene in your free will choices. Also, up right behind that, it's the last one. Goddess. Express your divine feminine energy, embracing its magical intuition and nurturing qualities. So this also means to nurture yourself. Take some time for yourself. Spend some time with yourself. And that brings me to this card, which I had skipped over by mistake. It's the Nine of Earth. Nine of Earth, all about a need maybe to spend some time with yourself, getting to know you, like you, hopefully even love you, right? Enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, and successful self-employment. Also a possibility with the Nine of Earth. You know, this woman looks like she's in a good place in her life. When I picked it up, behind it, also upright, the Queen of Water. This is your energy. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Someone likened to those traits or attributes, but this is your reading, Pisces. So this is you. Tenderhearted, empathetic, patient, and loving. Relationships develop to a new level. Listen to this part carefully. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. All right, just like this one says, this is about nurturing you. Also behind that, upright, Major Arcana card 4, the Emperor with Archangel Michael. Organization and logic, structure and discipline. Also leadership. The Emperor represents the signs of Scorpio and Aries, primarily Aries. But Mars rules both of those. And can be about taking back control of your life. And taking back control of your life may include taking it back from fear. Right? Taking it back from that part of you that is afraid to be forward moving. You've gotten so used to maybe being stuck in a situation or not having the successes that you've wanted or the happiness that you've wanted, that you're afraid when you see it ahead of you on the horizon to go for it, perhaps. To start this. Nope. I'd rather stay here. But there's more good stuff for you. Hashtag creepy deck. Overall energy twin flame. So for some of us, it is a relationship. And not just a relationship, but like a spiritually based relationship, a soul connection. Soul level, contract involved. Before we were even incarnated, we were attached to this person, in love with this person. They were part of us. We were part of them. It's all meant to be in clandestine. Maybe we're afraid of that, especially with that kind of intensity. Even before you know you're in love, just the intensity between two people. I remember my first time I felt it. I could feel this man like he was inside of me for days. And I'm going, what is this? And I had to Google, like feeling somebody inside of you. I don't remember what came up, but yeah, because it was going to drive me crazy. That's what it is. So if you haven't met somebody yet, which based on the card that's in the position of your relationships, I mean, in any card actually, I guess could show that you haven't met somebody yet, but this may mean that the Four of Swords in the position of your love and relationships. So we'll get to that in a second. Also speaking of love and relationships, passion. And this is a very Two of Wands kind of card for me because it's these two people, one of which is an angel. He's got his angel wings. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Allow yourself to be happy. And also it's talking about music and dancing, right? Heart and soul to sing with joy. So again, maybe some of you need to get out, have a good time. The Two of Wands in the tarot actually represents twin flames or divine unions. From the Universal Love Oracle, your overall energy, your card is forgiveness. And this is a picture of Kuan Yin. She looks kind of like Mary here, but it's Kuan Yin. Mother. Mother is about nurturing. It's very Queen of Water. So somebody needs to be forgiven. We should always start with ourselves. So that may be involved here. If there's guilt feelings you're harboring, resentment, regret, something that is causing you to hold yourself back from moving forward. Maybe a relationship with your parents. Speaking of mother, maybe your mother specifically, maybe your parents, your children, maybe you're the mother or the parent. Because somebody could also be a father too, with the Emperor sitting here underneath the Queen of Water. The Emperor for me is often a father, or like a divorcee, a married man, a widower. Maybe somebody passed away and we're still holding on to guilt feelings about them for some of us. So there's forgiveness necessary. But again, we all need to start with ourselves. And sure enough, when I picked up forgiveness, guess what's behind it? Sorrow. This one is a representation of Mary, meant to be Mary. So sorrow attached to that need for forgiveness. And guess what's next? I couldn't have made this up if I wanted to, had the cards fall like this. Retreat. So it's another one of these very Nine of Earth kind of cards. Right? A need for you to spend some time alone, introspection, meditation, prayer, which is focused intention, which is manifestation, working the law of attraction, drawing stuff to you, drawing stuff near to you, what it is you desire, you need. And look what's there over her head. It's the star. Guess what the star represents in the tarot? The sign of Aquarius. Oh, goodness. So yeah, I don't know what the Aquarian energy is about, but that's what's happening here. Maybe it's connected to Venus. Venus is, I just thought about her being the ruler of Taurus. And currently Uranus, the planet that rules the sign of Aquarius, is located in Taurus. Maybe that's affecting some of you too. Why did I think of that? Because currently she's located in Libra, which she also rules. But during this period, this October 7th through the 20th, she will move into Scorpio. So maybe for some of you, it does have to do with that. Also upright behind this, speaking of Scorpio, is birth. So where there's like death, which represents the sign of Scorpio in the tarot, there is always birth that follows, new birth. And this card for me, it's a very spiritual death and rebirth, because this dove here, for me, it's a very Pentecostal dove. If you don't know the event of the Pentecost, in the scriptures, it talks about the Holy Spirit descending upon the earth and people, honoring that and beginning to speak in tongues. So it could be representative of communication for you guys too, for people that are not moving into a space of better communication, a fresh start somewhere. Ace of Pentacles. Maybe that communication is with yourself and or your guide, your spirit guides. Speaking of, it being very spiritual and it being representative of the Holy Spirit for me. Why? Because the next card also upright is divine guidance. And with this symbol here, to me it's like the infinity symbol. It shows that the guidance is available to you infinitely. It never runs out. You never run out. You can always seek guidance from the universe. When the moon shows up, the moon is representation of feminine energy of surrender. Let go and let God. Let God take you to these new experiences. Let the universe take you. If you don't believe in God, whatever it is you believe in, allow yourself to flow organically into your next situation. Stop holding yourself back. Now, what might that next situation be? Let's get to that part. I don't know if I'm putting these back in order or not. What might that next situation be? So again, this Eight of Swords represents you. It is a woman who appears at first to be trapped, to be stuck, until we realize these swords, none of them are in front of her. So she really could just step forward and get moving forward. She has a blindfold over her head and her arms are racked up, but it's pretty loosely tied. I'm sure she could wiggle right on out of there and save herself. And that's what the Eight of Swords is about. It's about feeling trapped, but not really being trapped. You actually having control to change your circumstances. Again, my feeling is that you're afraid to do that. It might be you're afraid to literally move. Why? Because the card representing the energy surrounding you is Major Arcana card 16, the Tower. And it's a lot less scary than it looks, I promise you. When I pick up the Tower, I tend to get a feeling of fire, and maybe it's because of the actual fire that's there. But sometimes it's very Scorpio for me too. So it can be tied to that kind of water, to death. Really, that's the kind of feeling I get. It's like death, devil. So this too can be about feeling stuck and not wanting to move. And if you don't, like something's going to move you. Something's coming in very, very quickly, a change that's going to force movement, especially if you don't, go with the flow and initiate. You know how it is to try to work against the current? It's that sort of thing. Like if you're trying to work against karmic energy or karma. Again, Chariot also about movement. So for some of us, this tower is representing an actual tower or structure, and it is about us needing to move house or move jobs, maybe change, move on to a new relationship, move forward with one where we've been feeling stuck, get unstuck of our own accord and move forward. For your money, speaking of moving job, work, finances. Major Arcana card 10, Wheel of Fortune, which represents the planet Jupiter. Speaking of karma, the planet Jupiter, ruler of the sign of Sagittarius. So that could be from where this fire is coming from too, that's showing up in the tower. It's crossing the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is a good omen, upright, about money and stuff. Your finances, I'm sure everything's fine there. But your job, you might want to leave it. You could be having feelings of wanting a new job. You may be having feelings of deserving a new job. You may be having feelings of, again, wanting to start your own business, Aquarius. Maybe it has something to do with music. Maybe that's what the singing and dancing is about, too. Wanting to start your own job, your own business. But, again, with the Eight of Swords sitting atop it, being afraid to take that next step. With an overall energy of the Chariot in reverse, being afraid to take that next step. Contrarily, as it relates to this work and finance, well, not really contrarily, but that was more so work. All right, so let's talk about finance. Again, good omen, things working okay. But if you've already been experiencing a bunch of positivity in your finances, then the change that's coming in quickly can be a reversal of fortune in that area. Not to say all of a sudden you're wiped out, because it's still upright. I'm still getting a positive feeling from it. And again, your overall energy is still the Chariot. The Chariot is about victory and movement and stuff. And upside down or in reverse, it's still about that. But maybe all of a sudden the company goes out of business, or all of a sudden, just think maybe more positively, aside from getting laid off or fired or whatever, or for something happening to the actual building, to the actual place that causes them to be shut down or whatever. Like preparing for a rainy day. If things have been going positively for you and your money's been flowing all good, you've really been feeling this Nine of Earth, then as it relates to your work, you may just want to tuck something away while you can. And that's not to say, again, that because you're going to be wiped out and you're going to need, a nest egg, just we're only talking about the period of the next 2 weeks, right? There could be a reversal. So you may need to slow it down a bit in finances if you've already been experiencing a lot of flow. And it will be something sudden that causes you to feel that way. So maybe you receive some information suddenly, some news, something comes to you. But overall, I just want to make it clear that there's no need for panic. Again, things are pretty decent in your life and they will continue to be pretty decent. So that's why there should be no more complaining. Because why, when we complain and we speak negativity over ourselves or think it, then we draw that in. And you don't want to do that. Love. Speaking of, maybe we need to pause for a minute. Four of Swords. In consideration of your overall energy of the Chariot. Could be about planning some sort of trip or movement. Maybe you're thinking about moving in together. Maybe you're thinking about moving forward. Maybe you're thinking about moving on, moving away from this relationship. Because the Four of Swords can also be about the need for some sort of break. In whatever area of your life in which it shows up. A need for a break, a pause. So if you're feeling disconnected from your relationship, from your partner, be honest about that. Share that. Be honest about that. Crossing the Eight of Swords, your energy, the card representing you, and feeling stuck. You could be feeling trapped in the relationship and wanting to get out of it. And be honest about that too, with your partner and with yourself. And forgive yourself or your partner, whoever, there's no need to place blame. It's just, there's only a need to be honest and to remain in a place of integrity. If you are looking for love, Aquarius, there's a need to be honest with yourself about exactly what it is you're looking for too, and what kind of partner you're seeking. And, then you get to manifesting and meditating on that. Focused intentions and positive thoughts and words over yourself. Did we do all of these? Just want to see if I'm getting anything else. Tower in relation to your Eight of Swords. Again, you've been holding yourself back. Something's going to come through to make you move forward. And it's not necessarily negative. It can definitely be positive. Or there's going to be a situation placed in front of you that's going to, sort of cause you to have to make a choice. Or maybe, again, meditate on it and figure out what it is you want. But it could be something positive. It's just something that comes in very, very quickly and can be overwhelming, sort of like sweep you off your feet. It's totally unexpected. Again, in the terms of a job, it may be a promotion, maybe an opportunity to start your own business. It may be, a chance to move somewhere else, to be transferred, or, a company's going to, have you move out to where they are, like change of location or something like that. And you just got to go roll with the punches and do what it is that's going to make you happy. You got to follow that joy. The Tower in terms of love and relationship, not so good really. And it could mean breakup, but it doesn't have to mean breakup. Again, it could just mean break, but it may be something all of a sudden, some sort of energy that comes across and something that causes you guys to say, all right, we got to take a step back from this relationship for a moment. And, maybe I just got to spend some time by myself for a while. And again, be honest with yourself about that. Be honest with your partner about that. And everything's going to be fine. You want to salvage the relationship, then, again, that's still going to be the first step. And then you talk about it and you work on it and you salvage it. And if not, then you put on your big boy pants or your big girl pants and you walk away. You walk away. And apply that to every area of your life. Because this can also be something that's going on with some people or persons or person around you. Again, surrounding you. It may not even be you directly that's affected by the Tower. And if other people are going through that and you're not, in a position where you feel you can be a support, or you're wanting to be a support, then you can't be guilty about that either. So you still got to forgive yourself for how you feel, forgive yourself for needing to put yourself first and take care of you first and nurture you first. You just have to. So go ahead and leave your parents' home, or allow your nest to be emptied, your kids move out, or if you had a poor relationship with somebody, friends, family, mate, what happens all of a sudden can be some sort of coming together and deciding to work on that too. Freeing yourself from the imprisonment. Somebody actually may know someone that unfortunately is going to jail or is in danger of going to jail. You're awaiting the answer. You're awaiting the decision. Four of Swords can be about a decision too. I was thinking maybe that person's an Aquarius. I don't know. I don't see. And it's funny because there's like no King of Swords. There's no reason for me to be so focused or thinking about Aquarius, or at least no reason that I can see. Anyway, further to all of that, cooperation instead of competition. What's yours is yours, and no one can take it from you. There's no need to compete, and there's an abundance for all. You have complete access to unlimited resources for yourself and to share with others. With cooperative partnerships, you can accomplish anything. So again, you're feeling very King of Cups, according to this. And the King of Cups is someone that's generous and charitable and giving. And you're also feeling very Queen of Cups over here. And she's very giving too and nurturing. Just remember, again, there's no need for competition, but also to include that toward yourself and to be loving and nurturing and generous toward yourself too. Feminine. Positivity, faith, and optimism. Maybe a Leo involved with these baby lion and a grown lion and a sheep, baby sheep. You open the doorway to positive experiences and opportunities with your positive expectations and energy. That's basically what I was just saying a moment ago. Like, not focusing on the negative, changing your perspective to the positive. Don't allow negative energy or temporary setbacks to interfere with the path that you're on. Keep the faith and keep going. So even if a Tower energy comes in and it's not, it's overwhelming in the way that oh my God, what am I going to do? Ultimately, in my opinion, the Tower is always good, because even when it comes in, like, God forbid, like I said, somebody loses their job or something like that, like there's something better for you. This Wheel of Fortune is still upright. So there's something better there for you. Relationship is coming to an end. Maybe you've seen it happening for a while. You don't want it to come to an end, so you've been fighting it. Then you got to spend some time with yourself and think about, why don't I want it to come in? Why am I trying to hold on to a relationship that's not working? Because that may be the case. Again, if it is something that you want to salvage, then there's a need to still spend some time by yourself and to, think about what it is you need to address and what kind of relationship you're actually trying to build and work on that. So it's all in your control at the end of the day. What other? The 10 of Earth, a very happy family life, financial security, magic, finding magic in the little things in life. So this can be what I was talking about, like resolving something here all of a sudden, maybe unexpectedly, with our parents, with our children, with a mate, with some friends, close friends that we care about, and that will give us a feeling of the 10 of Earth. Again, it can also be representative of an asset, maybe even a home. And this can be about moving home, buying a home, selling a home, or again, our own business or whatever, but it's positive. The Ten of Earth, we need to have faith. The Ten of Earth is a positive card. It's not a negative card. It's about abundance, being abundant. So very positive. For the feminine here, the Two of Fire. I talked about the Two of Fire. Two of Wands. This passion card, again, for me is very Two of Wands, a Two of Fire, which is the divine union or twin flame card of the tarot. Twos in general also about faith. So you just got this card called Positivity, Faith, and Optimism. Obviously, that's going to be very important to you or for you right now. This Two of Fire can also be in relation to, again, your work, your finance, maybe forming some sort of business partnership. And that's what you've been afraid of. But now you're going to, oh my God, we're really going to do it. Me and my friend, we're really going to start something. Or me and this associate, we're really going to start something. We're really, leasing office space or whatever and moving. It can be that. You've come into your own. New partnerships or contracts continue to move forward. Again, it can be about, cohabitation and things too. Maybe again, or roommate situation. You're leaving your parents' house, or you're leaving your kid's house, your family home, or whatever it is, and now you're moving off by yourself. Something like that. There's some sort of fresh start that you've been afraid to take the leap, and the universe is saying like, hey, like now is the time. From the angel therapy cards. Wow. Okay, parents. So this is what obviously it's not going to apply to everybody, but for some of us, as I've been already seeing and feeling, some of us have some sort of situation going on with our parents, and maybe we didn't have the best relationship before, and now that's what's about to be improved. I just heard, but what if my parents are gone? So I don't know who. If your parents are deceased, then it's still, maybe you're holding on to some sort of resentment, regret, inability to forgive, blaming yourself, blaming them for something, and that something's still going to come in, some energy is still going to come in to cause that to be healed, and essentially still repairing the relationship between the two of you, even if we're on different planes of existence. Okay, that's okay. The divine truth is that your parents eternally love you to the best of their ability. The angels are helping you to heal from any pain associated with your mother or your father. And we've seen very clearly here, both mother and father energy present itself. So some of us are dealing with this. Angel therapy cards. Wow. Speaking of deceased people in our lives that we may still want to resolve or repair a relationship with, or from whom we're just getting messages like that divine guidance. It can come again from our ancestors, from our family members, our friends, deceased loved ones could be showing up to guide us in some sort of way. Angels, cherubs. You have the natural ability to connect with departed loved ones. So that coming up for somebody too. Hashtag creepy deck. Open relationship. Now, this card for me, when I do twin flame, divine union partnership readings, it's not what it looks like when I read this card for them. It's about because those relationships, twin flame relationships, are kind of open already. It's like you're together, but you're not really, because again, you're like tied to somebody at the soul level, but in the 3D on this plane of existence, you might not be in a relationship with them. You might not even have a relationship with them. You might not even know who they are. So that's, but especially if you feel tied to this person, that's an open relationship because you're going about your life and they're going about their life, and but the connection remains. So when it shows up, to me, it's about like living and loving, or whatever it is, however you want to do it, whatever it is you're doing, like doing it out loud, and open, out in the open. I'm maybe we're now out in the open rather than stealing away all the time and having this secret, sacred relationship. Now we're out in public. It can be that sort of thing. For this general reading, not a, divine union reading or twin flame reading, open relationship for me is more, it's coming up, it's feeling more so that it's about integrity and communication. So like open and honest communication and things. And that doesn't have to apply to a romantic relationship. You know, again, it can be with your parents, it can be with family, it can be in terms of work. That's how you're going to progress, with open and honest communication. For the feminine, hashtag creepy deck, true gem. So I was feeling all that air energy, but I said Aquarius. This could be representative of Gemini, and also can be representative of some sort of engagement or engaging in some sort of partnership, whether it's romantic or not. Engaging in some sort of partnership. True gem is also about like surprises, something happening unexpectedly, something coming very in, and not negative surprises. Something that might sweep us off our feet, overwhelm us, but it's not negative. It's a positive surprise coming in. And, you know, some people may, again, be deciding to move in together, be literally getting engaged. This could be representative of a ring or something. And, or meeting that someone special who we will come to find is some sort of soulmate. Romance angels to the masculine. Children. Okay, this is too funny. Parents and children. After the other cards we've seen, that I said something's going on with parents and or children or families for some of us. Okay, masculine, it's you. And I said this could be a father, the emperor, be representative of a father, or like a family man. I call it sometimes the marrying kind. Like he's that sort of guy that's got it together and you want to be with him. You know, so that can be where some of us are at, of the masculine persuasion. Doesn't necessarily have to be a male. Could be a female. You know, it's not, has nothing to do with sexuality, has nothing to do with gender. In fact, some of us can feel as if we're all of the above and want to take and resonate with all of the cards. You know, we're not even looking at the different archetypes. We're just like, give me whatever you got. But specifically for somebody who feels more heavily masculine, probably, or who resonates with both, and or is actually male. This is, if it's not something to do with you as a father, again, it's something having to do with your parents or father. And again, the relationship. So the children, healing the relationship, being open and honest about something that was going on with us. Some people maybe haven't spoken to their parents in a while, I'm feeling. That's like the distance that's between these two people. Maybe you haven't spoken in a while. Also the King of Cups, who wants to be loving, with the boat in the distance. So I think that there's been separation. So the children could be representing you. You might be the child. And there's a situation with your parent, or vice versa. You're a parent and there's a situation with your children that you could be working out. And it could be very surprising to you. Aquarius. Wow. Pisces. Geez, I don't know what that's about. Maybe that's the person with whom you have the issue. Maybe they're an Aquarius. Pisces. It could be very unexpected. You could be like, oh my goodness, we haven't spoken in forever. Like, I thought my parents disowned me, or I disowned my children, or whatever it is. Or maybe you were separated all along. Maybe it's adoption or a foster care situation. They couldn't take care of you, right? It says here, your parents to take care of you to the best of their ability. Maybe they weren't able at all. And so, you know, you grew up with adopted parents or something. And all of a sudden, maybe now you're meeting them, or you're healing the relationship, you're fixing it. Something big is happening very unexpectedly for somebody. It's going to be a surprise. From the romance angels to the feminine, romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So again, maybe you're meeting somebody and it can turn out to be a soulmate situation. Maybe an air sign, a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Twin flame, relationship, divine union, soulmate situation. If you're not meeting them, maybe you've already met them, and over the next 2 weeks, very surprisingly to you, you'll find yourself thinking about how you want to move with regard to this relationship. What are your intentions? And from the Universal Love Oracle, speaking of a message, somebody waiting for a message or something, and divine guidance maybe, and Sagittarius and fire, right? Fire I was talking about. Yeah, crossing the Sagittarius energy. Wheel of Fortune represents the sign of Sagittarius. Wait a minute. The Wheel of Fortune is also connected to the fixed signs. Aquarius, Leo, right? So we saw the lion in the other card. Taurus, which I also mentioned with that angel that was in a prayer pose sitting in the fields. And lastly, Scorpio, which I've also mentioned here. It just came to me. They could all be connected to this Wheel of Fortune. So perhaps having something to do with work, but not necessarily. You could be hearing something, again, about work maybe, a new job, a new opportunity for you, some sort of guidance in your life, maybe from, again, mediumship, from a deceased member of your family. This can be representative of so many things. It can be a 3D phone call or text or something. And again, you're hearing from somebody, mom, dad, and again, it's surprising because you haven't in a long time. Or you could be receiving messages, especially Pisces. I mean, you're super, super intuitive, right? Naturally, as a water sign. So you could be getting a lot of divine guidance and messages directly too. This could also be telepathy between you and a romantic partner, because twin flames or, divine beings, divine partners are capable of that, especially when they're, sort of aligned and in tune, which is what the Two of Wands represents. For the feminine, it is gateway. So it's about stepping in like a new phase, passing through transformation to a new phase coming in. All of your advice cards seem to be connected to love and relationship, with the exception of positivity and faith. But even that can be connected again to love and relationship, because the two of fire and twos mean faith. I think it's going to boil down to a lot of belief in yourself too, to be applied to any area of your life. So that's going to make you stop being afraid to move forward. Stop being afraid to be successful. Stop being afraid to be happy. When you have faith, renewed faith in yourself, maybe after spending some time by yourself, with yourself, and learning to love yourself, nurture yourself. Speaking of Leo and Lion and all of that, this one's upside down, but the next card is Major Arcana card 11, or another 2, Strength, which represents the sign of Leo. So that could be what the fire is too. A Leo could be involved. We're seeing a lot of that energy. And lastly, because I skipped over this one, for the feminine, manifestation power. Use your spiritual gifts and your natural abilities to attract your desired income. So yeah, we talked about this too. You focusing on making a focused intention on your desires, on what it is you want, being honest with yourself about what it is you want, planning it, meditating on it, sleeping on it, whatever you got to do. And that's how you're going to bring things in. Definitely letting go of any negative words, whether they're thought or spoken, and only thinking and speaking positivity over ourselves and those around us. I hope that you guys have enjoyed your reading. I'll be back in 2 weeks for you. Namaste.